Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about finding the slope between 2 points. Now, in order to do these problems, you have to know the following formula, and that is going to be m equals, remember, m is going to be your slope. So m equals y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. And this is a very convenient way to find the slope between 2 points. You no longer have to pick 2 points on the line and then draw in your triangle and do rise over run. That's actually a really inefficient way of doing it. And as you progress through Algebra 1, if you're being asked to find the slope between 2 points, this is typically how you're going to do it. You're going to use this formula here. So make sure you memorize it and make sure you know it because you do use it quite often in Algebra 1. Now, if you look at number 1, they give you 2 points here and they want you to find the slope. So what we have to do here is label these points. Now, it's really simple. We know that this value right here and this value right here are going to be x values, okay? And these values right here are going to be y values. So it really doesn't matter which one you call x1, which one you call x2, and which one you call y1, which one you call y2. It doesn't matter, but you have to keep them together. So for example, let me go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. If I were to call this one here x1, that means that this y value here has to be y1. Okay, I can't call it y2. So in other words, you have to keep the 1's together and you have to keep the 2's together. All right, so if I do x1, y1, that means this here is going to be x2, y2. Okay, and now all you have to do is plug it into this formula and you're done, right? So you're going to write here m equals y2, which is 4, minus my y1, which is going to be 2, okay? And now I'm on my denominator. I have x2, which is going to be 7, and then minus my x1, which is going to be 5. All right, and now all we have to do is simplify it down. So m equals 4 minus 2, that's going to give me 2. 7 minus 5 is also going to be 2. So 2 over 2 is equal to 1. There's my slope. So m is equal to 1. There is my slope. I am now done with the problem. Okay, let's try this one here, number 2. So again, same setup, m equals, and we do want to label the points. That's a good practice. So we're going to say here x1, y1, and then x2, y2. Okay, and so writing it out, we have y2 minus y1. That's going to be 1. And then I put minus, always put that minus because that is part of your formula up here, okay? So I do 1 minus and then my y1 is going to be 5. So I put 5 and then x2 is negative 2 and I immediately put a minus sign, okay? And then my x1 is going to be negative 7. So here I put a negative 7, I'm going to put it in parentheses, that way I'm separating the negative signs. And now I'm just going to simplify it down. So m equals 1 minus 5, that's going to give you negative 4. And then right here, these two negatives will make a positive, okay? So making it positive, I have negative 2 plus 7, that's going to give me positive 5. And here we go, we are done. So negative 4 over 5, all right? Let's go ahead and try a few more problems. So here's the next problem. Let's go ahead and label x1, y1, x2, y2, right? And plugging it in. Now again, I'll write the formula up here again in case we forgot. So y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Again, that will become second nature as you progress through Algebra 1. But we'll write it here for now. That way you can have a visual of what it looks like, right? So I'm going to write here m equals, and then my y2 is 4, and then minus my y1, which is also going to be 4. Now, look, I can actually stop right here because look what's going to happen on your numerator. You're going to have 4 minus 4, which is 0. And we know that 0 divided by anything is always going to be 0. So I don't even have to fill in my values down here. There's no need to, okay? Because I know that the end result is going to be 0. So m is equal to 0. It's going to be my slope, right? So what type of line is that? Well, a line that has a 0 slope is going to be a horizontal line. Okay, let's try number 4. We're going to put x1, y1, and then x2, y2. So plugging it in, we get m is equal to, my y2 is -8, minus my y1, which is -7. I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses around this. That way we're separating the negative signs here, okay? And then I go down, I'm going to put 5, that's my x2, minus my x1, which is going to be 5. Now look here, I can actually stop here as well, because look what's going to happen on your denominator. 5 minus 5 is 0. We're going to end up with division by 0 here, okay? Whenever you have division by 0, that means it's going to be undefined, okay? Meaning your slope here is undefined. M is equal to undefined. It's undefined. So what type of line has an undefined slope? That's going to be a vertical line. So this is going to be done. So again, looking at number 3, this was a horizontal line. This one here is going to be a vertical line. Okay? Let's try one more example, and it's actually more of a bonus problem. So it's asking you the following here on the last problem. It says, find the equation of the line that passes through the points 1, 6 and 2, 9. So they want you to find the equation of the line. Now, the equation of a line can be represented by slope-intercept form, which is going to be y equals mx plus b. Okay? So we want it in that format. Now, in order to find the equation, I must first find my slope. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. We have 2 points, we can get the slope, and then we can go from there. So we're going to do exactly like we were doing. I'm going to label everything, x1, y1 here. This will be x2, y2. And then over here, we're going to write m is equal to, y2 is 9, minus my y1, which is going to be 6. x2 is 2, minus my x1, which is 1, right? My slope is going to be equal to 9 minus 6 will give me 3. 2 minus 1 will give me 1. My slope is 3. Okay? So from here, we can now get the equation of the line, but first, we must find what the y-intercept value is going to be. That's going to be your b value. So to do that, you want to pick either this point here or this point here. It doesn't matter what point you pick, but you have to pick one. Now I'm going to pick the first one because those numbers are a little bit smaller, 1 and 6, right, rather than 2 and 9. So just pick a point and you're going to plug it into the x and y values, and you're also going to plug in your slope, and then you'll solve for b. So writing this out, my y value here, if I use this point, is going to be 6. 6 is equal to my slope, which is going to be 3, times my x value, which is going to be 1, and then plus b. Okay, so now you get 6 is equal to 3 plus b. Now all I have to do is solve for b, minus 3 on both sides. This will cancel. 6 minus 3 will give you 3. 3 is equal to b, right? So just to be clear here, again, if you were to use this point here, 2, 9, you would have gotten the same value for b. Your y-intercept value would have came out the same. It would have given you 3. All right, so it doesn't matter what point you pick here. Just pick the easier of the two, okay? So now we can put it all together. So how do we put it all together? We just put it in this format here, y equals mx plus b. So our final answer is going to be y equals our slope, which is 3, and then x, and then our b value, which is our y-intercept value, is 3, so plus 3. There is the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points up here, okay? So if you were to graph this line, you would see that it is in fact going to be passing through these 2 points. Okay, so that is how you find the slope between 2 points. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to remember that formula. Once you know that formula, it's going to be like second nature to you because you do use it quite often in Algebra 1, and it's pretty easy to remember once you use it a few times. So if you found this video helpful and you gained something from it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get more math videos in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.